Every flashy indicator promises overnight success, but Delta Edge actually promises something better because they give you the insight to craft your own edge with all of their fantastic indicators. So, none of this is financial advice, but without further ado, let's dive into the video. So here we are in TradingView, and if we go to indicators and then we go to invite only scripts, we can see this is where our Delta Edge subscription is. And these guys offer a bunch of really cool indicators that enhance your trading ability as a trader. So we're not just talking about signals here, because if you know anything about signals, guys, you follow them on an indicator with buy and sell, and then they simply just don't work after a while. And there is a reason for that, and that reason is because trading and assets will follow what's called microcycles with different momentum. And if you can actually track momentum or track liquidity, then you're going to be in a position way further ahead than someone just following a buy or sell signal. So this is really going to be your indicators and your edge that you can derive from all of this data. So let's dive into a few of these. So here we have Liquidity Heat Map. So if we click on this, it's actually going to be added to our chart. And why is this useful? Well, we can basically look at this and it's going to track the market and see where it is most liquid. What does that mean? Well, it basically means that's where most of the orders are. And typically you can expect price to go ahead and grab that liquidity with what's called a liquidity grab. So we could expect price to actually come down to this bigger liquidity zone some of the time, depending on market conditions. So this could be great for finding the middle area of ranges and determining whether we are going to break out or not based on the fact that the liquidity has been taken or has been left there. Then we have the intent tracker. So this is basically going to track dynamic channel geometry and volume energy readings to basically decide whether we are more likely to break out with intent or whether we're more likely to stay in the range. So as you can see, if we do add this to our chart like so, we can actually see that yes, we did have bullish intent just before that breakout previously. We had bearish intent here. Okay, so this could be good for judging the potential momentum of a future trend, not necessarily a buy or sell signal, but a good indication of us potentially pivoting in a different direction, which could be up, sideways, or down. Next, we have one that you probably know, but this has been tweaked in a very specific way. So we can see here, this averages several multi-speed momentum curves inside adaptive bands and also includes optional divergence and squeeze tags that highlight hidden pressure. So what does that mean? Well, you guys know what RSI is. RSI is the relative strength indicator. And this is great for tracking momentum, finding divergences, and many more things. But what these guys have done really well here is they've actually given you the option to have divergences and squeezes on the chart plotted, and they are doing this in more of an average, so you could often get more of an accurate indication of what's going on here. So here we can see a squeeze, and then price dumps down. We can see a squeeze here, and then we can see the rough average of RSI across different indicators and the main one here. So this is just like your standard RSI tools, but far better. Next, we have the Delta Edge Sniper. So this is basically going to have what's called an envelope and track the recent highs and lows of an asset to form a range. And typically with that, we can get pretty decent highs and lows form. As you can see here, when we get to the edge of the range here, it's saying, hey, extreme, maybe the momentum's going to wear off soon. And then as you can see, price did actually dump after that. And then at the bottom here, extreme, and then all the way back up again. So a great indication of whether we're at the bottom of a range or the momentum could be wearing off on a smaller kind of mid-term trend. Want to dominate your niche and flood your inbox with leads? Here's YTRanker to help you build the right strategy and make it happen. First, let's open up an incognito window to keep everything fresh. This will ensure there's no history or cookies and will ensure unbiased results. Next, we're going to open up YouTube like you can see here. We're going to click on these three dots and we're going to see that yes, the language is English and the location is set to the United States. Now I'm going to search Saxo Broker as our keywords. We're just going to press enter and see what comes up. As you can see, the first result here is my video, in fact, about Saxo Broker. And because of this strategy, we're ranked directly at the top of YouTube. Now we can try another one, best email hosting for my domain. We can press enter, and guess what? The first video that comes up is in fact me. So this just goes to show the strategy works, and you can actually go and test this yourself. So enough waiting. If you're serious about leads and niche power, head to YTRanker.net today and make it happen. Let's get back to the video. And then we have the touch scanner. So this will basically track candles and how many times those candles touch certain prices, and those prices are typically supports or resistances. So as you can see here, we have our standard price chart, and then on the bottom right hand side, we can see that we actually have important prices that have been touched a lot by candles. So if they get touched again, that could be an indication of us breaking through that specific level, or potentially bouncing off it, depending on how many times it's been touched. So overall, a fantastic indicator showing us what's going on with certain levels, which can really complement the other ones we have here as well. And then we have what's called the Volatility Halo. So basically, this will track the range with an envelope as well, but it's also going to give us hints or indications of potential bullish or bearish trends. As you can see here, it turned green here, and then we had a nice uptrend, and then it turned white again, and yes, that uptrend did cease. But this is fantastic. It's also going to use fractals to determine that as well. So a nice little indicator to determine trend as well as range. And finally, we have Wave plus OB, and this is basically going to use moving averages to determine the potential momentum. So if we do get blue to orange, then that would be bullish acceleration. And if we were to get orange to red, then that would be bearish, as you can see here. So if we look at the daily on Bitcoin, we can see that this is very much a bullish trend. But let's say we go down to the 15 minutes here, we can see that, yes, it is going to determine whether we're in a bearish trend as well on the downward swings. So using all of these indicators together can be something that does benefit the trader, in which you're getting real analytics that can help you discuss momentum, volatility, liquidity, and then be able to dictate your own trades with a lot more confidence. Now, this is actually designed to all run together, but you could have it in multiple charts as well. And these guys really do pride themselves on having this toolkit for real traders rather than people just wanting to follow buy and sell signals. This is going to give you great indications of what the market's doing and, more importantly, why the market's doing it. And as you can see, this is fully working on TradingView. So no matter what TradingView subscription you have, I'm actually on the free trial right now for TradingView, and you can see these work fantastically. And the way you get this is super simple. So all you got to do is click the link in the description here, and you will be led to this page. Now, this page is hosted by whop.com, which is a very reputable place for people to sell online products. So good stuff there. All you got to do is press get access and then choose the 1 month subscription here. You're actually going to get a 3-day trial in which you can cancel and just try out the indicators for yourself. And then after that, yes, it will be $40 per month. But we are talking about trading here, guys. So that's actually super, super cheap. You can make this back in one trade very, very easily. And if you did want to have this for life as well here, guys, you can see there is a one-time purchase here for $449, which again is super cheap for me. This is actually one trade, even half of a trade for me normally from trading. And then from that point, we can actually pay it with Google Pay or press continue here and then use our credit card or Cash App if we want. Now, we can also pay with crypto if that suits you. And then once you're happy, you put your name in, your country, and then simply press get access. Now, from that point, you will simply give them your TradingView username. If you don't know how to find that, guys, it's simply on your profile here. That's your username. And yes, from that point, they will be able to add you after you've paid. And guys, you're not paying for one of these indicators, you are paying for all of them. So you get the full suite with no hidden tiers or upsells once you've got them, which I really do appreciate. These guys simply just give you the tools that help you with your trading. They also have continuous updates and support-driven community feedback. And the founders are really coining this as something that isn't one of these holy grail indicators, because let's be honest, guys, those do not exist. To trade, you have to have knowledge, and these guys are actually providing the right tools to execute that knowledge in the right way and give you a great indication of why the market's moving rather than trying to react to it with a buy signal or something like that. This can be great as a trader because you can predict what's going to happen. You can predict when momentum's ending. And with all of these tools, it's much, much easier to do that. So that is Delta Edge. Definitely check it out in the description, guys. Again, it is a 3-day free trial. So if you do just want to check it out, try it out, then go ahead. But that is going to be it from me. Have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next one.